The weather gives us some really good metaphors for talking about our mood. So you can talk about having a sunny disposition, you can talk about your relationship being stormy, you can talk about your future being under a cloud. But does the weather actually affect our mood? The aspects of weather that seem to affect mood most are probably sun and heat. Of course, rainy weather will also tend to depress people's moods, but the amount of sun and the amount of heat are the main determinants. And of course, sun primarily creates more positive moods and creates a sense of vitality. When it's sunny, we tend to be more likely to be active and to be going out and doing things and sharing experiences with others. So to some extent, it's just a social phenomenon. But also there's a biological side to it. So when you are exposed to sunlight, that produces vitamin D, and vitamin D promotes the production of serotonin, a brain chemical that helps to regulate and elevate our mood as well. Some people just don't have enough sun exposure and are prone to seasonal affective disorder, which is a kind of depression that comes about mainly in the winter months, especially if you're living a long way from the equator. One of the interesting things about effects of weather on mood is that anything that improves our mood tends to change our behavior. So for instance, when people are in positive moods, they tend to be more helpful. And there are studies showing that on sunny days, people are more likely to tip waiters and waitresses better. They're more likely to help strangers who are in need. And they're more likely to respond positively to attempts to be picked up. Negative moods created by gloomy weather can have an effect as well. So a study by Sabrina Bryniel and colleagues in Belgium showed that people were more likely to play the lottery on gloomy days. So it seems when people are in a negative mood state created by gloomy weather, they'll try to find a way out of it. There are very large differences between people in how susceptible they are to sun. For instance, in their mood. And we don't really know what causes that. It doesn't seem to be related to people's general personality. It's not that introverts are happier in gloomy weather or extroverts are happier in sunlight. Some people just are more susceptible, not only to everyday fluctuations in weather, but also seasonal fluctuations in weather. The way to benefit from weather is to be out in it. So when it's good weather, people have found that you actually don't reap any mood benefits from sunny days unless you spend at least 30 minutes outside. People tend to mistake their current emotional state for their general satisfaction with life. So on cloudy days, they tend to think their life is worse than on sunny days. So it's important to stop and think, is the way I'm feeling a reflection of my life, or is it just the weather?